Yes. Woo! It's that time again. Welcome, guys. Vice Versa Live. And we are live. I am a little late, so my apologies for being a little late. I want to thank everyone who is here. And there's no one at the moment, but that's all good. That's all good. Yeah, we've got a lot to get through today. And it's going to be a fantastic show today. We're going to be talking about how to prep for an interview. Last week, I was discussing the 5 things you should, be talking to the hiring manager, especially when it comes to the end part of the interview. So now I'm going to the beginning. I'm going to the genesis part of the interview process. And to me, it's this is the most important part. If you get this right, generally everything else should flow. This is the most important part, and generally the beginning is always an important step towards success. And so I'll be teaching you guys what and how you should be going about your preparation and how you can win. So I hope everyone's had a good week. I hope everyone's been well. The measures are nearly being lifted, and I'm sure everyone's really excited and happy about that. As we all are, and yeah, it's really, really good to be back here. And I really hope everyone's had a fantastic week. So, with that being said, I managed to fix this as I couldn't do it last week. And that is how to prepare for an interview. Look at that. I just love it. It's just coming up on the screen as it should have. Obviously, it didn't come up last week, but thank God it's here today. How to prepare for an interview. Generally, I like to always do a recap, and then I like to go into, kind of a motivational kind of platform, and that goes on to my presentation. Also, what I wanted to do, which was different from all the other times, was that if you do have a question because of the lag, please do pop it in the comments, and I'll be able to look at it, see it, and respond and discuss it openly with everybody, so that everyone can see, everyone can learn, and ultimately I can also learn as well what's also happening in the what's happening to you in almost real time effect. So I guess for me, I think I've spoken about how you go about finding work and the attitude that you need. I think when you get to this stage, you've done your CV, you've done the application, and you're now being invited to an interview. This stage, the mindset has got to be different. This mindset now is you now need to go and almost go like beast mode. Like, it's got to be beast mode, because no matter what you've done or no matter who you are, you have to recognize that right now at this stage, as you're preparing for an interview, you are in competition with your fellow, your fellow candidate. You're in competition with that person. So at this stage, your mind has to be almost focused on, I have to win. I have to succeed. And if you're not thinking that, I think it'd be quite difficult. Because if you're gonna go and be like, oh yeah, like, and I'm gonna see how it goes. Nah, there's no time for I'm gonna see how it goes. You can't afford to do that. Especially as once you get to the stage of an interview, you're in that position now to perform, and you have to deliver. And a lot of that comes to what we're going to discuss right now, is how to prepare for an interview. Now, I want to bring up an amazing stat, which is going to go into my first point, which is first impression. And first impressions are, okay, that's the exact number. Okay, fantastic. So first impressions, let me bring that up. Come on, it's working. So first impressions are the most powerful thing that you can do. It is a fact that 93% of our communication is non-verbal. So you guys have to understand that the way that you dress, the way that you look, the way that you smell, all of these other things are massively important. They are majorly important because you want to have an impression, and you want to have that first impression that is positive. You can't have you know, you can't give an impression and expect to get the job if the first impression isn't correct. It has to be phenomenal. It has to. You have to set the tone. You know. In the next week, I'm gonna give like a full demonstration on like body posture, things like that to kind of demonstrate what you should and shouldn't be doing. I have written some notes down as well. Yes. So what I was talking about in first impressions. Now, first impressions, whether you're a woman, whether you're a man, we have to put the same thing as an interview and put the same scenario into a date. Now, I've gone to interviews and I've seen guys dress like anyhow, like the tie is a little bit off, or the shoes may not be as shiny as they need to be. If you were going on a date, I'll pose this question to you guys. If you're going on a date, would you not make sure that every single part of you is excellent? Would you not? Because why would you now put it to chance that you're going to be judged potentially in maybe a negative way, or in a way that you can't control? You see what I mean? So the way that you look, your appearance has to be on job. Has to be on job. If you've got a beard, make sure that the beard is, shaped up. Don't make it like everywhere. Like, make sure that you look presentable. You don't have to be like looking like, you're on, the GQ magazine. You don't need to do that. You just need to look neat and professional. Same for the girls. I don't want to, be throwing things out there and, people be calling me someone who hates women, or, all these other things. But women, if you are watching this video, if you're not going to an interview with makeup, I'm sorry, that's not acceptable. It's not acceptable. If you're going to an interview, you're going to the interview like you're going to meet your husband, you're going to meet your boyfriend, that is the level you have to go. It has to be that level, because you want to make that impression that you're here to not only show that you're ready, but to make that impression that this is where I want to be. I'm invested. I'm not only invested with my skills, but I'm invested with my appearance, with my body, with my eyes. Everything is invested. That's what you want to do, and that's the impression you want to do. Even when it comes down to sitting, if you're in a chair, you need to be on the edge like this, looking in their eyes, not slouching like this in the back, watching somebody talk, because this position doesn't demonstrate that you want the job. It's more like, entertain me. And that's not your position. You're there to entertain the person who is asking the questions. So guys, this part is probably the most important part, and I would say really does set the tone for the rest of the interview. And that leads me on to the next point. Come on, I'm loving this. Research the employer. Now, I don't know how many people, really, I don't know how many people. Thank you, guys. Thank you guys. And welcome. I don't know how many people actually do not go to an interview, or who go to an interview, sorry, and do not research the employer. Now, if you can't research the employer, ultimately, you know, it's the slogan that I use. If you fail to prepare, be prepared to fail. You're going to fail, because in researching the company, what that allows you to do is that it allows you to understand, firstly, where the company is going. It will give you a better understanding of the role, that they're, let's say, the roles that they have in the company. It will also get you to understand the company culture. And also, let me just see here that I wrote down. It also allows you to, and yes, that's it. From all of those things, it will allow you to have a good understanding of not only the way the company is going, but the goals. What are the goals of the company? Because these things are good things that will demonstrate not only that how confident you are, but it will demonstrate that you understand what your position does in the greater and macro goal of the company. So where your company plays a part, where your role plays a part in the company's bigger goal. Now, I have a formula for how you go about researching the company. Now, for me, the best thing to do when you're going to research a company is to go onto the LinkedIn page. Because the LinkedIn page has, because the company has the company page, and it will have an about screen. Now, in the about screen, it will tell you in very few words what the company does. Because a lot of the time when you go onto the website, sometimes you may not understand exactly what the company does. But when you go onto LinkedIn in particular, it will tell you exactly how they want to be seen. So go onto LinkedIn and you can be able to find out exactly what it is that they do, or exactly what it is and who they are. And then you can find out what it is exactly they do, the products and services to which, they sell to their end user. And once you're able to do this kind of research, it's going to give you confidence, because you're going to go in there not as somebody who is, oh yeah, these people are going to pay me, but you're going in there being like, well, I've got a set of skills, and I now can see whether we can actually be a good fit, and whether you can actually add value to that company. And that part of the research is very, very important. Another thing that I want to add on to that is, if you don't do the research on the company, please understand that whoever's hiring you, they're doing research on you. A lot of people don't understand. A lot of people don't know that loads of employers, I'm telling you, loads of employers are looking at and Googling you. They will look at your LinkedIn page, your Facebook page, your Instagram page. They are looking because they want to know exactly who is coming and who is potentially applying for a role at the company. So, guys, if they're doing it to you, surely you want to give yourself a good, a good standing and do research on who's actually on the other side of the table. So make sure you do your own due diligence. Otherwise, you are doing yourself a complete disservice and you're setting yourself up for failure. And I know anyone who's watching this video doesn't want that. So make sure that you are researching the employer, because it's gonna put you leagues in front of your competition, leagues in front of even the employer, because most employers won't expect that from you. They will ask you questions like general questions about the company. They'll always start off like, have you heard about our company? Do you know what we do? Those are general ones, but you want to go a little bit further and have a good understanding of their products and services, and especially what you want to bring. One of the biggest things you always want to bring to an interview is any new products and services. This stuff is key. If you see anything on the news, anything on Twitter, anything that you see that you found about the company, bring it, as long as it's positive. As long as it's positive, don't bring anything negative. As long as it's positive, bring it forward. You know, if there's a company that does, you know, research on, you know, companies in its particular sector, and they do, you know, spoilers on, you know, whether it's products or services, you can bring that to the interview, because what that's showing is that you're very much interested, not just in the company, but in the industry as a whole. And that shows to them that you're a person of value. So, you know, please do that. Another one. This is key. This is key. I actually want to split this into two. Read the job description. Oh man, I can tell you, I've been guilty of this myself. Like, honestly, I really have been guilty of this myself, because I've gone to interviews and just been like, oh yeah, like, you know, I'm just gonna just go and just talk. It doesn't work. You're going to get found out, because the job description is basically telling you the tools and more so the person that they're looking for. And if you're going there in person, you're gonna need to know, you know, you're gonna need to know what's going on. It's like going to, you know, I don't know, like an audition. Whether you're acting or dancing, maybe this analogy is better for acting. It's like you going to audition for a part, but you don't know the lines. It's like, how can you audition? It's the same thing. Like, you're auditioning for the part, but the part is in the job description. So in order for you to give the best performance you can, you're going to need to, you know, do all the other bits, first impressions, you know, research the company. But this part is even more important, because you're going to need to know the role and the person that they're looking for, so that you can audition for that part, audition for that role. I hope everyone catches my drift, you know, because when you do audition for that role, and, you know, you read the job description, you know, you're able to find out what exactly they're looking for. You know, you're able to identify the skills that they're looking for. Remember, we spoke about that a few weeks ago, on the soft and hard skills. You'll be able to identify that. You know, you'll be able to see and identify potential problems or skill gaps that they're looking to fill. And then these are things that you want to then bring back up and almost regurgitate back to the employer, so that you could show them that you're the right candidate, that you're the person that can fill that role, that you have the best attributes to execute every day for that role. And that's what you want. Because when you're able to do all these things, what that breeds is confidence. And that's what you want. You want them to not only get that feeling like, okay, I've got a good feeling about this candidate, but that they believe you. Do you know what I mean? And the only way you can do that is by mirroring the job description, mirror that back to the employer, so that they can see, like, okay, I like this person. This person understands, you know, and that's the connection right there, is the job description. Because once you do that, it's gonna be easier. It's gonna be really, really easy, really, really simple. And then once you're able to harmonize those things, harmonize the job description into you, then you can add all the other great parts to you. You know, you can really show your personality a lot more once you're able to really, you know, get it into you, what it is that they're actually looking for. And that leads me on to the next part, which is I feel is the way that you cement yourself as a phenomenal candidate, and that is STAR. This should be the way that you answer every single question. You know, you can't answer the questions as vague. So if they say, you know, you know, how have you demonstrated how have you demonstrated that you've led a team, you've led a team. You know, you want to be able to give a situation of when it happened. You want to explain a task that was given to you. You then want to move on to what actions you took. You know, so you want to demonstrate your thinking with the task that was at hand, and then you want to demonstrate your results, and that shows them that not only do you have the capabilities and the skills, but you have a very good mind and understanding and capacity to also grow and also teach others. It also allows them to see that you actually can do the job. Because, you know, I have issues with, you know, the whole interview process as a whole, because I don't really think an interview process actually demonstrates anything, because it doesn't really demonstrate the employer that you can actually do the job, because it's an exchange between, you know, two people. And but if you use the STAR way to answer questions, what that allows you to do is it allows you to be almost it almost allows you to cement that you are the best person for the job, that you understand that, you know, you can go through the steps, you know, and you do have an analytical way of thinking, and you're able to demonstrate that, you know, you can complete tasks and that you have the skills that's suitable and efficient for the role. And, you know, again, everything is about building confidence. That's what you want to do. It's almost like it's like paying things forward, or you're saving for like a car or a house. It's like you need to put credit, you need to put credit, you need to put credit. And all those steps that I've said, you know, the first impressions, the researching the employer, the reading of the job description, mirroring it back to reading it back to the employer. And then this part, every question that they ask you, you use this. Even if it's a simple thing like, you know, how well are you with spreadsheets? You want to be able to situation, task, action, result every time. That's what you want to do every time. You don't want to just give a yes or no. It's not enough. It's not enough, because you need to remember you are in competition with somebody else, and you need to show and demonstrate to that person on the other side of the table that you are the man for the job, or the woman for the job. You want to be able to see like your person is here, and that's how you do it. Those 4 steps, that's the way to do it. Also, as well, another thing, just to tie in, it's just brought back to my memory. When you are going for an interview and you're preparing for an interview, read your own CV. Like, I don't know how many times I've been to an interview where I have gone and not taken my CV, and then you get thrown off by them asking you to read through your CV. Because that's generally what they want. That's generally how they start the interview. So always make sure that you read your CV. Make sure you have a hard copy to hand. If there's anything going to take an interview, make sure you have that, because again, it's going to show that you're prepared, and it also allows you to not be thrown off by any curveballs that they may send you. So I hope that all helps. Now, I did say that if you are I did say earlier, before I started the presentation of how to prepare for an interview, that if you did have any questions, to please put it into the comments page, or in the comments. Sorry, it's for me, it's a comments page, but please put it into the comments, as there is a back feed or a lag, shall I say, when it comes to comments. So yes, here we go. So we are in question time. So if you do have questions, please put it into the comments page. Also, for everyone that's here, if you haven't already, please smash a like on the on the video. If you haven't already, please share it. And if you haven't done the one thing that I'd love, please subscribe to my channel. So we have a question from Peter, And yes, what are my thoughts on role playing as I think this is really, really good. Every time I've gone for like an interview, especially once I started to kind of understand the once I kind of understood the game, shall we say, I would always do a like a role play. Yeah, role playing is very, 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 very key, and it allows you to get used to being in that role, in that environment of showing and demonstrating from the job description. It's absolutely important. And from there, man, I missed a key point. But this is a good question. So once you're able to read the job description, what you then want to do is research the questions, interview questions. There are loads of interview questions, but once you see the role, you read the job description, what you're then able to do is you can be able to go and research interview questions, and then you can start preparing your answers. You don't want to go into interview and then start to and then they're looking at the whites of your eyes as you're looking to the ceiling, you're looking to the floor, and you're looking, I don't know, you're looking to the window or the fire exit door as a way to get out. Don't do that. Always go prepared. You need to research the interview questions and have that in your back pocket. That is one thing that I would say 100%. And once you have that in your back pocket and you have all of the scenarios that you can think of, if they ask you anything, at least you know that you can pull things out of the hat. Very, very comfortable. And then once you have that kind of weight behind you, and you've got the know-how, you've got the, as we could say, the lyrics, it's just easy. It's just easy. And then it becomes more conversational, which is what you want, So yeah, role playing is absolutely mandatory. And it's not even a thing where you may like need somebody else to do it. It could be just you by yourself doing it, and just speaking out loud. You can even record yourself doing it, and you can be able to hear how you sound, hear anyone look and see how you look in terms of like, does my body language show that, yeah, I am confident? Does it show that, I believe what it is that I'm saying? Did that make sense? So that's a really good question, and thank you for that, Peter. Really good one. Okay, Chris. Okay, what advice would you give for a group interview and how to stand out from the rest without being forward? So this is a good one. Again, I would firstly always look at the job description to see what it is that they want, and look at the task they're given. Because if it's a group interview, it's two things that they're looking for. It's either one, they're looking for leadership qualities, or two, they're looking for people with teamwork capabilities. So you need to be able to identify the two. Because if they're looking for someone who's a leader, then you know how to go about doing it. You want to be able to bring your points forward. You want to be analytical. You want to be able to listen, and you really want to be able to then know how to speak and guide as well. If it's teamwork based, then you want to be like really like encouraging everyone to come together, being able to see, okay, what role is someone doing? What task are you doing? What task is another person doing? And then seeing how, okay, this is my task, and then being able to be like, oh, maybe I can see how I can help you. Like, oh, do I need to help you? It's dependent on how it's judged. If it's judged on teamwork, again, you want to just be really, really inclusive. You want to be really kind of being that person who's there to help, being there to be that support. If it's about showing leadership, you want to be able to show that you can lead. You want to be able to show that you can give good points, and you want to be able to show that you can get the result. that's what you're able to do. So that's how I'd answer that question, Chris. That's a really good question. Thank you as well for sharing that. Yeah, no, I'm glad that you found that useful, Peter. Thank you, bro. Yeah, is there any other questions that anyone may potentially have? And if there's not, maybe what I'll do next week, because I do want to go into like demonstrate how you should be sitting and how, you know, you could really show, you know, how what interest looks like. You know, I really wanted to do that. But I may start looking at interview questions. I think everything's kind of lined up and set me up for that. So I may do a little half and half. So that would be really good, especially the common ones that you know that really throw people off. Definitely will be talking about that. So this definitely is the interview season, and you know I'm really happy that I'm on here. So yeah, I will be doing more stuff in and around interviews and how you guys can win. So with that being said, I'm going to go back to comments just in case there's anything else. It doesn't appear to be anything else. So I want to thank each and every one of you guys for coming and attending, listening, sharing. Again, if you haven't already, smash a like on the video. Please share, subscribe, and yeah, have a phenomenal evening and a good night and a great week. Love you all and thank you all for tuning in. Good night and God bless. Thank you.